and enjoy this one. Two teams that love to attack, two of the deadliest strikers in world football, and some of the most exciting young talent on the planet. There is one bizarre aspect to tonight, though. How weird is it to see Barcelona and Bayern Munich situated in 19th and 20th of any league table? And at least one of them will stay down there after tonight. Clive Allen is with us this evening. What are your hopes for the next 90 minutes or so, Clive?
Well, I've no doubt this is going to be a Champions League game of the highest quality. How it will be sided, could it be the goal-scoring exploits of the two number 9s? Certainly so much talent on display, but those centre-forwards, the best in the world football, I believe. And Hansi Flick has the job against his old club. Quite incredible Bayern Munich record against Barcelona.
He won 7 trophies as Bayern manager, including 2020's domestic and European treble, and they're already in trouble, Bayern. It's Rafinha for Barcelona, around the goalkeeper, and scores! Barca ahead inside 60 seconds.
Absolutely sensational. A mistake at the back for Bayern is punished by the Barcelona captain. He shows great coolness, calmness to round the keeper and finishing it off with only a minute played.
Rafinha has been a player reborn this season under Hansi Flick. It's already his 7th goal of the season. It's taken Barcelona less than a minute to open up Bayern. Look how high that defensive line is, Clive.
Yeah, and as the ball's played, he's just onside. Kimmich keeping him onside, can't cut out the through ball. Totally clean through, but what poise, balance to round Neuer. Misses the clearance, does Kimmich, and away the captain goes. To round Neuer and fire Barcelona into the perfect start.
Rafinha ascending to the captaincy this season. It's coincided with this dramatic upturn in form. He gives Barcelona the lead in what is surely the opening of negotiations in terms of goal scoring tonight. These are two teams that love to attack. I think we could expect the defences on both sides to be struggling at times.
An unbelievable start. I know we're expecting excitement, but Rafinha showed great quality, such an early chance. Real composure from the Barcelona captain.
Well, it just raises the stakes a little bit more, doesn't it, that early opener? Barcelona desperate to reverse their recent run of results against Bayern. They've given themselves the perfect start here.
And you can see already both defences squeezing very, very high and very, very quickly. But you have to have pressure on the ball. The man in possession of the ball with no pressure will be able to deliver in behind either of the defences, as you see here.
Now Muller, flag stakes down for now. Pick out a teammate this time.
Well, Bayern were caught in the first minute in exactly that manner, and almost a riposte from Bayern with Muller's deep run in behind that Barca defence.
Kimmich out to Alphonso Davies. Kane now. Kim's long ball out to Michael Olise, who's had a wonderful start to his Bayern career. Guerrero. Back to Olise. It's not a bad ball in. Koundé underneath it for Barca. Don't take your eye off this one for a moment. Free kick to Barca as Rafinha is fouled. Vincent Kompany argued the biggest night of his coaching career so far this evening. He's been a full-time manager for just over 4 years. 2 of those at Anderlecht, 2 at Burnley. Barcelona not the only early goal scorers tonight, I understand. Manchester City already a goal to the good. Phil Foden on target inside 3 minutes.
Champions League that never disappoints.
Remember all of the games available to you across the TNT Sports and Discovery Plus network.
Just in his opening 5 minutes, Dan, you can see the intensity in which both sets of players are closing down, trying to deny the opposition any time on the ball, any real composure, with real intensity, physicality, have to play at the highest of qualities, with and without the ball.
Linus pass to Serge Gnabry. Davis getting ahead of him. Koundé was in the way for Barca. Nakano to Kim. Elise. Deflection almost took it into the path of Kane, but Pau Kubasi was there for Barcelona.
Yeah, the young centre-half showing a lot of experience there, making sure he tidied it up, wasn't going to take any chances.
He's just 17 years of age, Pau Kubasi. Vincent Kompany spoke yesterday about him with great admiration at what he's already achieved and what his career may hold in store. It's safe to say he's a fan.
Yeah, he's certainly a fan, but he also has a real test on his hands tonight, playing with Muller coming from deeper and Harry Kane on that front line.
There is Muller. That'll be a Bayern corner.
They are pushing up so quickly, Barcelona, holding a very high line, which Bayern are trying to get in behind. Muller again, slightly deeper of Kane, but making those runs forward.
Kane lurking, and one of the targets for this corner. Kim right in front of the goalkeeper. Yamal got something on that. Guerrero for Bayern. Koundé's clearance. Defeat at Aston Villa on match day 2 was the first for Bayern under Vincent Kompany. He has won 8 of his first 10 matches in charge.
Domestically
ball for
unbeaten.
Kane. Flag stays down. Decent stop for Peña. The flag did eventually go up, did it?
Oh, I think he's onside. You can see he starts in his own half. He's coming from that slightly deeper position. Makes a really good angled run, does Harry Kane. He's in. That first touch just slightly heavy, and the keeper starts right on the edge of his box. A good starting position from Peña.
That was a great lesson, wasn't it, as to how to stay onside as a centre-forward.
Arching that run. Looking across the line.
Here's again Kane. Far deeper than he would like, I'm sure. Such a terrific range of passing he's got, Kane. He's getting out of difficult situations like that. Elise. Barcelona lead here. It's to a goal from Rafinha in the opening seconds of the game. It's Gnabry finding Kane. There's a lot of space around here for Muller. Guerrero is forward. Muller trying to get outside him. Comes inside to Elise. Now it's Muller, and there's Kane! And it's 1-1! Brilliant header from Harry Kane, and Bayern Munich are level.
Dan, it's a brilliant finish from Kane, but it's a magnificent move from Bayern Munich, sweeping from one end of the field to the other. Harry Kane involved right at the start, and then he's there on the end of it to head it home. Wonderful overlap from Muller. Ball played inside, Elise feeds him, and Harry Kane arriving at that back post. Is he offside? It's going to be a very, very close call.
They're checking it as we speak. Shape on the cross. From Muller, absolute perfection, as was the finishing touch from Kane.
I think he's offside.
It's not going to count.
Well, it's unfortunate. It really is, Dan. Very, very unfortunate. But he is just straight a fraction offside as Muller delivers the perfect cross.
Well, it has been an excellent response from Bayern Munich. Ever since going behind in the first minute, they've dominated possession ever since then. And they will have to keep it up because that Harry Kane goal will not count. We've already had plenty of entertainment and we've only had 11 minutes.
Oh, absolutely no let-up in the intensity and the quality of this game.
It's Kane again. Robbed this time. Barcelona will look to build something for the first time in a while. Martinez. A little bit of difficulty getting out of their own half at the moment, Barcelona.
Yeah, just in the case of the pressing from Bayern, you can see it's that left leg, knee and toe of Harry Kane. It's centimetres offside.
His head was onside. For Barcelona, it's 10 wins out of 12 under Hansi Flick so far. 2 defeats. They have won every home match before tonight. And they lead this one. And still Rafinha's early goal. Kimmich's pass. Serge Gnabry. Offside flag up.
Yeah, the offside flag going up late once again, but it's a high line from Barcelona. And without pressure on the ball, Kimmich will be looking to deliver every single time in behind that high Barcelona back line.
Gnabry started both Champions League games so far this season. Still looking for his first goal in the competition.
Certainly has some really good chances against Aston Villa on match day 2.
Up on the head for Robert Lewandowski here. Collision was with Kim Min-jae.
Yeah, neither player really anywhere near playing the ball when the 2 players came together.
Lewandowski's last goal against Bayern, incidentally, was August 2012. He scored 5 times against them for Dortmund. 3 of those were a hat-trick. The 2012 German Cup final. Here's Gnabry. Davies. Gnabry again. Slight misunderstanding that time between him and Muller. Back to Iñaki Peña. Makes only a 5th Champions League appearance of his career tonight. 25-year-old. You know, I'm not going to get the decision he wanted there.
He went to ground screaming that there was a contact, but referee waving it away.
Guerrero. Olise. Intercepted by Martinez, who wanted his goalkeeper to come and get it.
Well, he asked him, but the goalkeeper was just a yard off of his goal line.
They do have worries about their goalkeeper, Barcelona. Of course, they have Wojciech Szczesny on the bench. They brought him out of retirement, and they realised they were going to lose Marc-Andre ter Stegen for a long time this season. There's a lot of speculation in the international break that when play resumed, Szczesny would be between the sticks, but then you're keeping the position for now. It's Gnabry. In towards Kane. There isn't much you could do with that one.
It was actually flagged offside again there, Dan. Just straying offside, Harry Kane. Not only for the headed goal, disallowed. Again from the Thomas Muller cross.
Barsi's header, touch weak. Serge Gnabry seizes upon it. Most of this game still being played in the Barcelona half. And here is Michael Olise. He's got two players waiting in the middle. One of them, Muller. Olise couldn't pick anyone out. That was a bit of a wasted opportunity for Bayern Munich. Welcome to viewers on TNT Sport. You have missed an extraordinary opening 15 minutes here at the Barcelona Olympic Stadium. Hansi Flick's Barcelona lead by 1-0 against Bayern Munich, thanks to a Rafinha effort scored inside the opening 60 seconds. Since then, Bayern Munich thought they'd equalised through Harry Kane, but his goal was quite correctly ruled out by the video assistant referee for offside. And the other notable thing about the first 15 minutes, Clive Allen, is that Bayern Munich have completely dominated possession so far.
They certainly have. After the shock start in which Rafinha took his goal beautifully, it has been Bayern that have been in the ascendancy. Barcelona playing with a very high line, and without pressure on the ball, they've been able on a number of occasions just to get the ball in behind this Barcelona defence.
Here's Olise. Herrera wanted an earlier pass than that. In the end, he's picked out Serge Gnabry, whose first touch is good. There's Kane! This time it counts! And you have to say that the Bayern Munich equaliser has been coming.
Yeah, too many times they've got in behind this high line that Barcelona are holding. It switched beautifully from Olise to Gnabry, and then Harry Kane pulling away to the far post, stays onside this time, and volleys brilliantly the ball back where it comes. A wonderful cross, and brilliantly executed by that man, Harry Kane.
A 14th goal in all competitions this season. Who needs Robert Lewandowski when you've got Harry Kane? We were always hopeful for goals tonight. How could we not get them? And some of the players we've got on the pitch at the moment. And already two in the opening 20 minutes here. Barcelona have looked ever so vulnerable ever since taking the lead, ironically.
Absolutely. From that first minute goal scored by the captain, they've pushed and squeezed very, very high without getting a lot of pressure, certainly on the midfield players of Bayern, who've been able to distribute the ball in behind them, and that not for the first time, in behind, and Harry Kane, brilliant finish.
Barcelona bringing many of their injured players back at the moment. I think we will see the likes of Dani Olmo tonight, possibly also Gavi and Frenkie de Jong. Terrible injury problems so far this season. It's brought out the best in players like Martinez there and Marc Casado, who've grown into positions of real responsibility in the team. I don't think anyone was expecting coming into the campaign. There's Kubasi. Last season became the youngest ever player to make a Champions League debut in the knockout phase. There's Koundé. Rides the challenge of Gnabry. How about that for a clearance by Davies. A very fluid system, Bayern, and an interesting disregard for positional play, I would say.
Yeah, great flexibility, interchanging positions.
Both fullbacks crop up in some extraordinary positions at times. Guerrero and Davies often getting into goal-scoring positions. Here's Casido winning the free kick.
Paulinho with a challenge. First time, really, that Barcelona had some controlled possession of the ball. "20 minutes in, and the intensity has just dropped a fraction, and that's not surprising. Absolutely frenetic from the start.
It was the best possible response from Bayern after they went a goal behind. They took the game to Barcelona and then some. Oh, we must wait and see what Barcelona can do next. And it's opened up through the middle again. It's Fermin Lopez, shoved off the ball by Davies. Fairly, according to the referee.
Well, Davies with that explosive pace got himself back.
And once again, that defensive vulnerability of Bayern's very, very visible there. Once again, no free kick given as Balde went down, and there's a big gap where a left-back should be. Olise still going. Michael Olise shot blocked.
Well, again, going from one end to the other so quickly.
Lewandowski nipping in and taking it off the toe of Davies, and now Lamine Yamal. Haven't seen much of him so far. It's up safely with Neuer.
Quite breathtaking, the way that both teams tried to exploit any defensive lapses in terms of shape, especially with the two centre-halves. Both sets of centre-halves are going to have to be so concentrated in keeping their positions and not getting stretched, because both sides capable of carving through the middle of their opposition.
Here's Kimmich. Kim puts it on to Davies. Muller. Gnabry waiting in the middle. Here is Olise. Lamine Yamal. Prodigiously talented teenager. Plays like someone 10 years older than he is.
Well, the crowd loved that, didn't they? Absolutely audacious skills. Went it through the legs of Gnabry, getting it the other side, shirt pulled. Pedri also great manipulator of the ball.
We're used to seeing Barcelona produce world-class young players, of course, that's not new. What is remarkable, though, is just how many there are in the current setup and how young some of them are. How good they are at such a tender age. One of them, Yamal. Pedri. To 17-year-old Kubasi. Peña, who is himself from the La Masia training school. halfway through the first half here in the Olympic Stadium. The time has flown.
Absolutely.
His ball to Rafinha. Early pass from him. It's opening up for Lewandowski.
Well, that's the first chance. Lewandowski set his sights on the target. A slight miss hit to the finish, but great run again from Rafinha. Feeding Lewandowski, trying to just pull it back into the far corner. Neuer has it covered.
2 more goals against Sevilla on Sunday. Lewandowski, oh, Neuer in trouble and getting very, very lucky against Lamine Yamal.
Well, he reads the situation, he blocks the attempted Neuer pass, but the block agonisingly goes off of this right heel and out for a goal kick.
He has been rather accident-prone in this year's Champions League, Manuel Neuer. Caught out by that John Duran goal at Aston Villa, of course. And on match day 1, he had to go off injured after trying an overhead kick, which did not go to plan. Only Neuer would try a bicycle kick. I mean, really. Here's Harry Kane. Robbed by former teammate Lewandowski, who picks up the loose ball here. Lovely turn by Lopez, who's caught. And that'll be our first caution of the night.
Yeah, Kimmich is the culprit. Brilliant the way he receives the ball on the half turn, letting it run across his body, drags it away from Kimmich, who just runs into the back of him, preventing him from progressing. Yellow card.
Barcelona beat Sevilla 5-1 on Sunday, the first of their 3 very big games coming up. Barcelona are currently 3 points better off than Real Madrid, at the top of the Liga table, but with many, many more goals. They come again with Balde down the left. Kim trying to stay with him. Doing a decent enough job. Corner to Barcelona.
Yeah, Kim at full stretch, trying to track back to stop Balde crossing. In the end, has to concede the corner kick. Breathtaking game.
Well, that little moment involving Neuer a moment or 2 ago is the perfect example of how you dare not take your eyes off this one for a second. It is the sort of game where a goal suddenly come most unexpectedly. Barcelona will hope to restore their lead from their first set-piece opportunity of the night. Not with a delivery like that, though. Goal kick.
Yeah, that is a poor delivery.
Meccano. They're always happy to receive the ball. Not the best pass to Meccano, it has to be said.
Well, he's actually done well, because the ball from Neuer was a poor one. It was behind him, sending him backwards.
Now Lamine Yamal able to turn, but quickly closed down. Try again, the talented team. Falls for Kane here. Gnabry in support. Kimmich. Kane never looks hurried, does he?
Great awareness of the players around him as well, the quality of his passing, keeping possession of the ball, even when he comes under extreme pressure.
Clear foul by Fermin Lopez on Gnabry. It's under the management of Hansi Flick that Gnabry really established himself at Bayern Munich. There were a number of very eye-catching performances in the Champions League. They won the competition in 2020. A goal against Barcelona among them in the infamous 8-2 win. Oh, look at this. Just for a moment there, it seemed that Bayern might have 3 players through.
Well, it is again because of the Barcelona high line. You can see just 3 yards away from the halfway line. No pressure on the ball. Big switch. Elise, without a good first touch, had he taken it out of his feet, again in on that right side, Bayern Munich.
Because there was no offside there. Just amazing at times the ease with which players have got in behind these very, very high defensive lines tonight. Liverpool lead against RB Leipzig. It's on target with 27 minutes gone, so things going well for the Premier League sides in this particular match day. Some very familiar faces on that Bayern bench, aren't they? Eric Dyer, Conrad Laimer, Kingsley Coman and more. England's upcoming tour of the West Indies will be live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. It all starts next week with 3 one-day internationals in Antigua and Barbados, followed by a five-match T20 series. You can catch every ball with us starting on Thursday, the 31st of October. Carlo's headed clearance. Kane helping out. Free kick to Bayern Munich. Mark your cards for November, because TNT Sports and Discovery Plus will have live coverage of every Autumn Nations Series match, kicking off with England against New Zealand at the Allianz Stadium in Twickenham on Saturday, the 2nd of November. Talking of the oval ball, Clive, I understand...
He got caught in a sandwich there, a Barcelona sandwich, did Harry Kane.
I understand that you have once scored in this stadium, but not in football.
Absolutely, yes. My claim to fame here in the Olympic Stadium was scoring the winning field goal for London Monarchs against the Barcelona Dragons in NFL Europe.
And it won the game as an American football kicker.
Exactly.
You won the game, it says.
That's right.
Amazing.
The night my American teammates accepted me as an NFL kicker. They obviously felt that it was significant enough kicking that winning field goal. A memorable night.
Here's De Upamecano. Neuer. Best kicking effort from him. Not having a good night at the moment, is he, Manuel Neuer?
No, he's less than assured with his distribution.
Quiet word in the ear of Mark Casado here. Not sure why, because it was Lewandowski who was the assailant there against Kimmich.
Yeah, he just pulled Kimmich to the ground, did Lewandowski. Look at the line, the way they're squeezing the play into almost only a 20-yard distance.
It's an all-or-nothing approach. And this time it's Muller that's trying to get away. Gnabry attacking a huge space in between Barcelona players. It's Harry Kane on the edge of the box, floating one. Guerrero is there. He can't finish.
Oh, I think he's trying to play that ball square to Muller, who's in the 6-yard box, instead of taking it on and finishing it himself. Wonderful Kane pass.
Once again, Bayern Munich exploiting a huge amount of space behind Barcelona. While taking some huge risks here tonight. 1-1 with 10 minutes or so left in the first half. Pedri. Casado takes over. Rafinha. Barsi. Now the good early run from Lopez, who's in, and Lewandowski finishes it off.
Well, VAR are going to look at this because Kim felt he was pushed in the build-up here before the ball was actually towed to Lewandowski.
Bayern seem confident that there will be a review here. Company not happy. Barcelona celebrate for now. Robert Lewandowski thinks he's got a goal against his old employers. This will be a test of that theory. Was there a push from Fermin Lopez?
Well, there was certainly a left arm in the back of Kim just as he's about to head it. Now, was that significant enough? I don't think Kim is particularly strong in that situation. Lewandowski finishes it off, but was that the foul? I tell you, that's a very difficult call. If you're asking me, I don't think it's a push. Yes, there's a hand, but he's just almost holding him. He's not pushing him. Does he do enough to put him off? Bayern will argue that he has. Lewandowski has finished it off. Will it count?
The goal is good. Barcelona back ahead with a goal that always felt inevitable. Lewandowski biting the hand that used to feed. And Vincent Kompany's side are behind again. From their point of view, they'll say that Kim was in mid-flight when he gets lent into there, so it doesn't have to be a huge push to send him under the ball.
I agree, but I do think he has to be stronger. It's a game of physical contact. I don't think he shoves him, I think he just holds him, feels for him. And Barcelona have capitalised on... I would describe that as a Kim mistake. He has to be better defensively.
Neuer. Olise. Well, Barcelona have certainly made the most of limited attacking opportunities so far tonight.
Well, 2 chances, 2 goals, clinical, you have to say. And the 2 number 9s, as we said right at the start, who's going to come out on top? Honours even so far, but Barcelona hold that lead.
If you look up clinical in the dictionary, there's probably a picture of Robert Lewandowski next to it. Chances like that are ones that he never misses.
People say sometimes those chances are easy, but it's being in the right place at the right time, having that anticipation and sensing that the opportunity is going to be there. And Lewandowski and Kane have been so exemplary in the way that they've gone about consistently scoring goals in that manner.
I was just about to say it, and you would know more than most about that. Barcelona frustrated by the referee in this time. And here it is again.
I don't think it's a foul.
Well, the referees didn't either. Vincent Kompany did.
Well, Vincent Kompany's saying he pushed him. I don't think he pushed him. He held him. He's holding his ground.
Well, you know what it is, don't you? It's Central Defenders Union.
Exactly.
Bayern Munich have had to come back once. They'll be confident that they can do it again. Barcelona lead 2-1 in this absorbing contest. 5 minutes left in the first half. Starting to get a little bit fractious as well out there.
Yeah, Guerrero was unhappy. He felt that Rafinha pulled him back as he tried to charge forward down that right-hand side.
Now Casado lost out to Elise. Kimmich. They certainly won't panic Bayern because they've had enough opportunities and possession so far to suggest that they can come back a second time. How about that from Balde? Falls for Muller here. Gnabry hadn't read his intentions. You're now very nearly caught in possession.
Well,
Barcelona looking a bit shaky.
Yeah, the second goal has really sparked Bayern Munich again. They've upped the tempo, they're pressing really high very quickly.
What an enjoyable game this has been so far.
Oh, it's a fantastic contest, it really is.
Plenty more twists and turns to come, I'm sure. Here's Deo Upamecano. Every Bayern player forward at the moment, bar the goalkeeper. And Guerrero trying to force his way through. Pedri will get it away for Barcelona.
Oh, they really have picked it up again, Bayern Munich, after going behind. Responded well after the first-minute goal from Rafinha, and they've responded again after Lewandowski's second.
Olise. Well, they couldn't be closer. So he felt he was impeded. And our referee tonight is not giving much. Martinez this time with a poor pass. It does seem that Barcelona are struggling at times with the intensity of Bayern Munich.
Absolutely, they're closing quickly, they're hurrying Barcelona up. They can't play at the tempo that they want, control possession, not giving them a second, Bayern Munich.
Gnabry coming away from Koundé and playing it into the path of Elise. The flag stays down. Elise unable to find Kane in the middle. Bayern Munich once again looking very, very threatening.
Yeah, they're asking questions of Barcelona defensively. Look at the press, look at the pressure.
It's Lopez trying to get away from Kimmich, who can't bring him down. He's on a yellow.
Oh, does really well just to retain possession of the ball for his team. Appreciated by the crowd. And off he goes again.
Didn't quite have the puff to get that one after such a long time out of the game. Don't think he'll last 90 minutes tonight for Fermin Lopez. Now Davis keeps it in play. Gnabry in the middle, he wants it. Davis couldn't find him.
Dan, that was a sensational Harry Kane ball to find Davis on the touchline.
More trickery from Lamine Yamal before Paulinho stops him in his tracks.
Oh, they
what
just
a spectacle this is.
They love him. They absolutely love that. 17. This is the Kane pass. What a ball. In behind the fullback for his fullback, Davis. What quality in so many areas of the game.
He scoops one out, which Muller did well to make something of. He too felt he was pushed. Nothing was given, and that's a very good angled ball into the path of Rafinha. Guerreiro is isolated. It's Rafinha! 3-1 Barcelona in the last seconds of the first half.
Dan, that is absolutely incredible. The cross-field diagonal ball out to Rafinha is one of the best passes you're going to see in the Champions League this season. 60 yards, switch of play, then Rafinha charging at Guerreiro, comes inside, and what a finish.
His second goal of the night, his 8th of the season. What a pass that is from Castro. And Rafinha did the rest. Neuer had no chance. He scored in the opening seconds of the first half. Now he scored in the last few seconds.
And it even goes through Upamecano's legs. Unbelievable. He's trying to wind it into the far corner. He strikes it beautifully, but it goes through his legs. Into the far corner, 3-1 Barcelona. What a first half.
Barcelona with a little bit of breathing space now against a Bayern Munich side who have always looked dangerous. And now the task for Vincent Kompany's men has just got even harder. They trail by 3-1 with only seconds remaining in first half stoppage time here.
And Dan, they've had 3 shots on target, Barcelona, and they've got 3 goals on the scoreboard. Unbelievable.
Absolutely ruthless. Rafinha with 2, Lewandowski with 1. And Bayern Munich have a job to do if they are not to go down to consecutive Champions League defeats. It could get even worse for them here because Lewandowski has it. And he's won Barcelona a corner. Will there be time to take it?
What a pass. Absolutely sensational. Perfectly into the path of Rafinha. Runs at Guerreiro. Across comes Upamecano. Winds it into the far corner. Hands he flicked, delighted. The whole place has just gone wild.
And the first half still has one last little narrative here as Lamine Yamal bends it across. And that will be half-time. We have seen the most amazing 47 minutes here. Barcelona with a 3-1 lead against Bayern Munich. Robert Lewandowski with the inevitable goal against his old club. It is Rafinha whose 2 goals have made all the difference so far, scoring in the opening seconds and the last seconds of the first half, as Barcelona take a 3-1 advantage into half-time here. Frankly, the second half cannot start quickly enough. It's been spectacular. Barcelona lead 3-1.
Official sponsor.
Welcome back to Catalonia, where we're all set for the resumption of this Champions League match day 3 game between Barcelona and Bayern Munich. The hosts lead 3-1 going into the second half here. We're already counting down to the blockbuster rematch between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. The pair come face to face once again, and you can watch the fight with us on Saturday, the 21st of December, live on TNT Sports Box Office. We've certainly witnessed a heavyweight contest here tonight. And if Bayern Munich are to go down, you can bet that they'll go down swinging. They're going to have a go in this second half, right, Clive?
Absolutely. 3-1 down, having 1 defeat already against Aston Villa. This looks to be a mighty task from this position, but just more of the same, please.
As we always say in this sort of a situation, next goal absolutely crucial, isn't it? If Bayern get it, well, it could be all set for what would be a scintillating finish to the game. Barcelona, though, tonight have made a habit of being absolutely ruthless when the chances have come their way.
Yeah, you can't do better than 3 shots on target, 3 in the back of the net.
Here's Kim. Olise, the first Bayern player to try and penetrate that high line of Barcelona. He's not had too much joy tonight, has he?
No, Balde's played him well when he's got close to him, and I think that's important. That if they are going to squeeze the line-up, that the fullbacks have to stay tight to Gnabry on the left-hand side of Bayern's attack, and Balde has to stay very tight to Olise on this right-hand side. If they tuck in, there's so much space to switch the ball into for Bayern Munich.
Koundé. Pass blocked at source. Barcelona hadn't scored a single goal in their last 4 games against Bayern. They've certainly made up for that tonight. Remember, the run coming into this evening's game was 6 wins in a row for Bayern Munich, who have also won 11 of the 15 previous encounters between these two clubs.
Yeah, it is a quite amazing record that Bayern hold over Barcelona. The biggest of tests for them now on match day 3.
Upamecano. Pedri nipped in, but it found its way to Kane. He did the safe thing in finding Neuer. Kane again, able to turn this time.
Well, the referee's actually given the foul. Although Kane picked the ball up, it was the foul on Davis here. Koundé pushing Davis to the ground. Kane picked the ball up, had the advantage. The referee took it back. He actually penalised Bayern Munich in this instance, I feel.
It's ironic because he's actually kept his whistle rather quiet tonight, the referee. He's allowed play to continue and the game has been a lot better for it. Now Guerrero, I think he was quite aware that Müller was trying to pick him out there initially.
We just caught a glimpse of young Musiala warming up down on that touchline. I wouldn't be surprised if some company before too long will be looking for changes.
Here's Robert Lewandowski. He couldn't quite get it onto his right foot. But here's Rafinha. Bayern Munich briefly in trouble, and once again it all stemmed from a poor pass by Manuel Neuer.
Yeah, he's been very, very poor with his distribution tonight.
Foul on Kane. Free kick to Bayern, much to the dissatisfaction of the home fans here.
Well, I think Neuer there just acknowledging the poor pass that he made. This is it. Lewandowski just couldn't quite get it out of his feet to capitalise on that poor Neuer pass.
That was by no means the first poor pass of the night either from Neuer. He said his farewells to Germany's football fans in the recent international break. And is out of contract at Bayern Munich at the end of this season. Here's Michael Olise. Kane. Look at the space that Olise's got here. Onto the left foot, bending one. Kane onto the loose ball. And now Polinia.
Oh, 3 chances for Bayern Munich. The first, Olise coming in on his favoured left foot off the right side. That's blocked. Kane, just a slight miscontrol. And then Palinha with the opportunity to hit the target, slices the shot. I just don't quite understand why Balde on one side and Koundé on the other are so close, tight in with the centre-halves, giving acres of space down each flank for Bayern Munich to exploit.
And if it continues like that, surely there will be chances at the very least for tonight's visitors in the second half. Martinez with the clearance for Barca. Upamecano too strong for Lewandowski that time. Aston Villa's win over Bayern Munich last time ended a remarkable 40-match unbeaten run for Bayern in the first phase of the Champions League. They last lost a group stage match in 2017. Won 36 of those 40. They are in danger of losing 2 in a row here. His crossfield pass was asking rather a lot of Davis, but in the end Koundé presented it to him. Palinha. Bayern Munich chased for a good couple of years while he was at Fulham, and when they signed him, couldn't get into the team till tonight.
No, and only because of the injury to Pavlovic at the weekend. Shoulder injury, which has given Paulinho the opportunity to start tonight.
Davis into the path of Serge Gnabry. Martinez with the clearance, but the offside flag is up. They certainly love to live on the edge, this Barcelona back four.
Well, again, keeping that high line. Bayern Munich exploiting the space down that side. Gnabry just has to look across the line, time his run better.
Speaking yesterday, it was very clear that Vincent Kompany has the utmost admiration for Barcelona as a club and as a culture that creates all these wonderful young players. And he's seen them at close quarters tonight. The Bundesliga leaders do in this second half to try and force the issue. Kimmich, Upamecano. Guerrero. Muller is furthest forward. It's Olise. Who was the target? Bayern win it back. Upamecano very strong on Rafinha. Here's Olise taking on Balde. Palinha's ball, not the best. Bayern's possession continues with Kim.
Yeah, good pressure from Bayern Munich. Barcelona finding it very difficult to get out in this spell.
Muller.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Hansi Flick is thinking about changing this, trying to change the course of this game. The pressure certainly mounting on his Barcelona side.
Free kick to Bayern. Casador's challenge whistled.
Oh, it's the pulling of Gnabry's shirt, pulling him to the ground that he's penalised for. Casado.
Kim and Upamecano are forward for the Bayern free kick. It's a sort of situation in which Thomas Muller is also very, very dangerous.
I think they carry a number of threats. Palinha, Kim, Upamecano, Kane, Muller. carry an aerial threat, do Bayern Munich.
Munich to deliver. Big moment in the game. So Barcelona head on it. And once again, Bayern win it back almost immediately. Now Pedri has to hold on to it, and does. Lamine Yamal, and Rafinha is in. This could be the hat-trick for Rafinha! It is! The match ball goes to the Barcelona captain, who has surely just put this game out of the reach of Bayern Munich. Vincent Kompany's side done on the counter-attack. And not for the first time tonight, Barcelona have got their tactics spot on this evening.
And then, if the crossfield pass for Rafinha's second goal was good, the pass from Lamine Yamal is unbelievable. It really is sensational. Left foot diagonal pass into Rafinha. He's still got a lot to do to finish it off, but given the opportunity, Lamine Yamal, unbelievable left foot diagonal pass that Rafinha takes out of his feet, runs it on some 20 yards. Watch this. Superb. Chest control, 2 touches, strike into the bottom corner. What a hat-trick.
Another sensational pass from one of Barcelona's talented youngsters into Rafinha, a man who has lit up this season for them. Manuel Neuer beaten for the 4th time tonight. And that one may well secure Barcelona all 3 points. Another goal made in La Masia, this time by 17-year-old Lamine Yamal.
Brilliant, absolutely sensational. It was a great pass, but it was the most magnificent chest control and skill to take it on and finish it off. What a hat-trick.
If Bayern Munich were to come back from this situation, we really would be witnessing one of the all-time great Champions League games. I think the one thing we can say about Bayern is that they are a touch vulnerable on the break, Clive.
Without a doubt. And that man has exploited it quite brilliantly.
So now Musiala about to come on for Bayern. Where do they go from here? If they pile forward, you can see more of the same punishment coming from Barcelona. Guerrero. Kimmich out to Gnabry. Had so much possession, so much territory. Müller to Gnabry, couldn't quite pull the trigger in time. Bayern Munich corner.
Yeah, Pedri covering inside his defenders brilliantly, tracking back to the edge of the box, and as Gnabry just cuts back to fire the shot, he's there to concede the corner.
Wow. Very often you see a quadruple substitution. Can we take from that Vincent Kompany is not happy? Coman coming on, Goretzka, Sane and Musiala. 4 incredible players to be able to bring off the bench.
Elise, Müller.
Gnabry and Polinia making way. That's certainly going to give Bayern a different look for the remainder of this game. And 1 or 2 of the players that have just been removed do not look at all happy about it. Serge Gnabry in particular. Bayern corner then. Goalkeeper struggling, and Upamecano was close to applying a deadly finishing touch. Here's Kane. Goretzka's touch. He's robbed. And now Fermin Lopez comes forward. 30 minutes left in the game here. Koundé staying away from Coman, who brings him down.
Yeah, clever from Koundé. Coman trying to track back. Substitute just arrived. Chasing Koundé back. Turns back inside. Draws the foul.
Now, Frenkie de Jong will make his return from injury for Barcelona. Fermin Lopez, who we suspected would not be able to last too much longer. He's the man that's going to come off. And Rafinha, very sportingly, has given the captain's armband to de Jong, a man who outranks him in the pecking order here. Now, Miller does not look at all impressed, does he?
Well, Dan, he's been involved in so many spectacular games over the years. I bet he can quite believe the scoreline.
Alessandro Balde here for Barca. Last-ditch tackle from Upamecano.
And it had to be Upamecano throwing himself into the run of Balde as he was bearing down on goal once again.
You just get a feeling, don't you, that we've not seen the end of the goal scoring.
Well, Vincent Kompany's changes, I don't think it's going to change too much tactically. Sane for Elise, Coman for Gnabry, Musiala taking Muller's role just deep up of Kane, and Goretzka for Polina in the midfield position.
Here's for a penalty waved away. The offside flag has gone up in any case.
There's still over half an hour to go.
Plenty to look forward to here tonight. It's Lamine Yamal that was, I think, engineering the contact there on Guerrero.
Agree. Guerrero with a challenge, no free kick, no penalty kick, quite rightly.
Here's Goretzka. He's very much out of favour at the moment at Bayern. This is only his 5th substitute appearance of the season so far. That tells its own story, doesn't it? 58% possession for Bayern. Losing 4-1 as we speak.
Well, the two substitutes coming together there, de Jong, Musiala, and free kick given, which resulted in derision of the home support.
Musiala has been struggling with a hip injury in recent weeks. Now, Sane is in. Musiala trying to get forward. Sane's pass quite accurate enough. Here's Kingsley Coman freshly into the game and finding Kimmich. Guerrero, two wait in the middle. In two minds there whether to play on or to take the throw. Upamecano in the right wing position now. Guerrero, Upamecano. Musiala. He was very much a first choice in the Bayern side.
Yeah, wonderful young talent.
The biggest young talents in German football, him and Florian Wirtz, who you might have watched earlier, playing for Bayer Leverkusen. A narrow escape at the back there for Bayern. Here's Coman. Taken away. Barcelona lead Bayern Munich by 4-1. Rafinha, very much the headline grabber tonight. Sane. And Coman is onside. Big opportunity for Bayern to get back into it. Coman!
took too long. Cut back on his favoured right side from the left. Koundé again, really tucked in close to his centre-halves, giving him that space. As we see this hat-trick. Chest control, 2 touches out of his feet. Brilliant cross shot into the far corner.
Struggled to show his best initially at Barcelona, Rafinha. This is his 3rd season at the club, and by far and away brought his best football for them so far. It's testimony to the remarkable impact that Hansi Flick has had. He's not the only Barcelona player either whose career seems to have performed a U-turn since the Germans taken over as head coach. You can say the same about Martinez and Casado, and 1 or 2 others. Lewandowski even, who I understand that Xavi wanted to sell, and he have stayed as manager. Pedri. Crowd are enjoying it now.
Oh, they're toying with Bayern Munich at the moment. Some wonderful technical ability, keeping the ball.
Well, they've waited long enough for a win over Bayern Munich. They're certainly going to enjoy it. That infamous 8-2 win in 2020 is, for many people, I know, the nadir of recent times for Barcelona. And if you believe what you read, it was also the key moment that made up Leo Messi's mind that he was headed for pastures new. We are seeing the next generation talent here now for Barca. Lamine Yamal, among others. They are the names that we'll be conjuring with for the next 10 years, maybe more. Well, certainly in Lamine Yamal's case, injuries permitting. Here's Frenkie de Jong. Pedri responding to the crowd here.
Young players full of confidence, no fear. And great technicians.
De Jong robbed. Barcelona immediately win it back. Bayern look a little lost.
This just doesn't happen to Bayern Munich. Domestically or in European competitions.
Well, what did you make of that 4-man substitution? Because, yeah, of course they're losing 4-1, but they were dominating the game in an attacking sense. But now almost the entire forward line has been replaced, and they've lost that momentum.
I think we did talk about the possible defensive frailties that they have, certainly at the heart of that defence, and that is what Barcelona have capitalised on here this evening.
Goals are also flying in at the Etihad by the sounds of it. That escalated quickly, didn't it? Manchester City 4 goals ahead now against Sparta. Erling Haaland has got the latest. Of course he has.
I would say that that's not quite as much as a surprise as this 4-1 scoreline. Certainly not what he was expecting.
I don't suppose the Man City score will cheer him up much either. Musiala on the run. Tell you what, if I was a Barcelona fan, Iñaki Peña would make me very, very nervous.
Well, he was in complete no man's land now.
Yamal, Pedri. Balde. Martinez. All the way through for Casado.
Well, he lost it, and he reacted brilliantly to just tow it away from Goretzka and win the ball back.
Yamal bringing out the party tricks. Davis. Will there be one last push from Bayern Munich here to try and salvage something? After that 9-2 win against Dinamo Zagreb on match day 1, they don't really have to worry too much about their goal difference. But we just don't know how important that's going to be in this new league phase either, do we? It could be a very important factor in the final analysis. Coman finding Musiala. Deflection on the shot, it'll be a Bayern Munich corner.
Yeah, Martinez stepping out and blocking the Musiala strike. There's a young man with extraordinary talent, also great confidence.
To put it mildly. Wrestling match going on at the far post between Upamecano and Koundé. And also involved, Peña just about getting the punch on it. Hansi Flick was very clear on Saturday that Peña would play in tonight's game. It's good management that. Protecting his goalkeeper, building his confidence. What he did not say, though, is whether he would play in Clásico.
Well, that is another question.
Game in the Bernabeu on Saturday, incidentally. In case you don't know, Real Madrid are currently one game away from breaking the Liga all-time unbeaten run record. 42 games going into that match on Sunday.
And it has to be against Barcelona.
Incredible.
Perfectly set up.
Deflection on the cross from Davis, another Bayern Munich corner. They look a little bit vulnerable on these, Barcelona.
Yeah, just a second Bayern Munich goal with probably 20 minutes to go could make it interesting.
Certainly see the momentum shift very much toward the away side, who have looked stunned ever since the concession of the fourth goal. Of a punch from Peña. They've had almost 60% possession tonight, Bayern. They have been undone on the counter-attack time and time again. Coman lost his footing. The target. Barsi got his head to it and completed the defensive job. Changes on the way. Dani Olmo returns, and departing is tonight's goal-scoring hero. A standing ovation for Rafinha, and he certainly earned it. He set the tone tonight with a goal in the opening seconds. He's helped himself to 2 more and will take home the match ball this evening. No wonder he's smiling.
Well, rapturous applause. Quite sensational, devastating finishing from Rafinha. A quite brilliant hat-trick.
On comes Olmo, who Bayern Munich know well. Scored a hat-trick against them in the Super Cup game last year for former club Leipzig. Also scored past Manuel Neuer, didn't he, in the Euro 2024 quarter-finals. Now Musiala, great change of direction there. Eventually crowded out. Bayern Munich have been camped inside the Barcelona half for long periods of this game. And in this second half, they've not been able to find a way through. And have been hit by the sucker punch time and again.
Yeah, since the 4th goal has gone in, they haven't really created a clear-cut opportunity to narrow that deficit by Munich.
A strange piece of history will be made tonight if it stays like this. First time in the entire history of Bayern Munich, they've lost 3 consecutive Champions League away games. They lost in the semi to Real Madrid last season. And here is Leroy Sané. Can he reduce the deficit? Didn't he pull the trigger?
I agree. There was a split second there. I thought he was going to drive that ball across to the far corner. And he passed up the opportunity.
Olmo. What's your pass towards Lamine Yamal? It's perfect once again. Yamal's shot deflects wide for the corner.
Oh, Dan, we've seen some sensational long-range diagonal passes that have been so effective. And the substitute, Olmo, comes on and whips this ball brilliantly from left to right. Corner 1.
12 minutes left in the 90. Can Barcelona finish with a flourish? Vincent Kompany retreating to the seated area down on the touchline. That's never a good sign. Unusual corner from Barcelona, to put it mildly. Olmo to Pedri. Koundé. Does look like the spark has gone from Bayern Munich.
Yeah, the intensity's dropped. Barcelona, with the quality technicians that they have,
they're picking them off. And here is Robert Lewandowski. Him did enough.
Look at him, he's furious. He's furious, the lack of pressure higher up the field.
Well, Barcelona are starting to make this look easy. See if Pedri can offer Barcelona a better corner this time. Goes in short to Lamine Yamal. Pedri again. Floating one. Upamecano underneath it. Kubasi's shot. And they're queuing up here. De Jong trying to turn in the earlier effort from Lewandowski, I think it was.
Yeah, De Jong had 2 opportunities, 2 stabs at it.
Risky from Guerrero. Bayern do bring it away. Referee awarding the foul on Kane.
Yeah, Martinez in the back of Kane. Tried to give Bayern the advantage. It's actually Sebastian comes through the back of Harry Kane.
Leroy Sané. He's not really been able to influence the game since coming on. There's another one who's had very limited game time under the new boss. Groin surgery in the summer. And he's still looking to find his best.
There looks to be a lot of notes being made by Vincent Kompany in that dugout. As you said, he's retreated, he stayed in his seat. In deep conversation with his coaches.
Foul by Koundé. Now here's a question. What's the difference between this one
No, I knew you were going with that question.
and the one that wasn't disallowed in the first half?
He bumps into him and pushes him. It's more physical, more aggressive, and it was a free kick.
I don't know if it will stand up in court, but I'll let you off. Musiala. De Jong. Another long diagonal out to Lamine Yamal. That's been plan A tonight for Barcelona, and hasn't it worked brilliantly? That's a good ball in. Lewandowski couldn't quite finish it off.
Oh, this is an exquisite pass from the young man. And Lewandowski just fraction away from getting the right boot onto it to finish it off. Look at this. And he is literally millimetres away from making the contact.
You expected the net to bulge. Just couldn't quite get his toe to it, Lewandowski. Sané. Guerrero takes over. Barcelona break it up again. Olmo, who started well this season before picking up an injury. Scored in his first 3 games for Barca, having returned to the club in the summer. Offside against Kane. Acts as ball boy, try and get this game going again. England's upcoming tour of the West Indies will be live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. It all starts next week with 3 one-day internationals, followed by a 5-match T20 series. You can catch it with us live from Thursday the 31st. And don't forget about November's Autumn Nation series. Every match available on TNT Sports, beginning with England-New Zealand at Twickenham on Saturday, the 2nd of November. Now Victor and Ansu Fati joining the game. And also Gavi coming on, Pedri, Lamine Yamal and Robert Lewandowski departing at this stage.
Yeah, Hansi Flick with an eye on that Classico coming up at the weekend, no doubt.
Ansu Fati, a player who's had terrible injury trouble, will get another run out tonight. Talking of which, Gavi also on. He made his return at the weekend after 349 days out. He had been out for almost a year with a ACL injury that he suffered while on international duty with Spain. They're absolutely thrilled to have the 20-year-old back. Yet another prodigiously talented young player. Came on against Sevilla on Sunday, Gavi, and bundled an opponent over within about 30 seconds. It was very much a question of back in the old routine. He's also a player of tremendous technical ability. Super passer, as you would expect of any player that comes out of the Masia Academy. As things stand, Bayern Munich currently 23rd in this 36-team league phase. It's not something that anybody would have predicted going into this year's Champions League. Still very, very early, of course. Who knows? Maybe we will see some high-profile casualties in this reformatted tournament.
Yeah, 5 games to turn it around, but they have work on, Bayern Munich.
Next up for Bayern are Benfica and Paris Saint-Germain. The big games keep on coming. And this 4-1 scoreline will not exactly work wonders for Bayern's confidence. Kane's pass intercepted. Limer on for Bayern Munich. Sane got a knock there. Goretzka's ball in. Koeman reached it and won them a corner. Don't think it was heading in, but Iñaki Peña took no chances. Musiala taking on Gavi. And Peña prevents the corner.
Yeah, it's almost a miscontrol by Koeman and the goalkeeper just making sure it looked as if it was dropping over.
Goretzka. Oh, just before the international break, there was a little bit of mild hysteria in Germany about the fact that Bayern, despite their excellent start to the season, went 3 games unbeaten. Problems for them here tonight. One at the weekend against Stuttgart, but that makes it only 1 win in 4. People will talk. Waves play on despite a very late tackle.
Yeah, substitute Loma that was very late.
Barcelona in 2 minds here about whether to kick the ball out. In the end, the referee made the decision for them. Marc Casado is the Barcelona player that felt the full force of that tackle from Goretzka. More of a collision than anything.
Yeah, just a fraction late, Goretzka to the challenge. It's caught on the outside of the right knee.
Barcelona have Red Star Belgrade next, who conceded 5 goals yesterday against Monaco. Then they have Brest, who are going well. Borussia Dortmund, Benfica and Atalanta. This looks problematic for Casado. The player whose prospects have increased hugely under Hansi Flick. Well, contrasting emotions down on the two benches, it's fair to say.
Yeah, they're all smiles on the Barcelona benches.
By the look of Thomas Muller there, I don't think he'll be putting too many witty posts on Instagram later. To stoppage time here. Barcelona enjoying a very lopsided scoreline. At last, they are going to get the better of Bayern Munich. First time they've beaten them in 8.5 years in the Champions League. Back to the drawing board, I think, for Vincent Kompany. Because Hansi Flick has comprehensively picked apart Bayern Munich's game plan tonight.
Yeah, a memorable night for a lot of these very talented young Barcelona players. Led by their captain, Rafinha, with what I can only describe as a sensational hat-trick. It really was. 3 brilliantly taken goals.
Well, tonight was billed as a first big test for Hansi Flick's Barcelona. I think it's fair to say they have passed with top marks. I tell you that Manchester City have added a 5th goal. A comfortable win against Sparta. City up among the front runners in this Champions League phase. There's Kingsley Coman, Musiala. There'll be a bit of pressure on Bayern Munich when they go up against Benfica next time. That will not be an easy game.
Dan, you've got to say with a new format, no one's really quite sure what you have to do to get where. All you need to know really is that you want to be in that top 8, so you qualify automatically. You don't have another 2 games in the playoffs to then go into the knockout stages.
And in that respect, things aren't looking too clever for Bayern at the moment. They came here tonight looking to record a 7th consecutive win against Barcelona. But Hansi Flick had plans for his former club. Vincent Kompany's men soundly beaten here in the Olympic Stadium. Barcelona got the tactics absolutely spot on. And thanks to a hat-trick from Rafinha. And another goal from former Bavarian Robert Lewandowski. Barcelona, in the end, won it at a canter. The Catalan club absolutely flying under the management of Hansi Flick, who has done a remarkable job in lifting the mood at this club. Dejection for Bayern Munich, for whom there will be a fair deal of pressure on match day 4. Match ball for Rafinha. The top performer as Barcelona win this one by 4 goals to 1. All right, let's have a quick